don't know if that was Lillian Garcia. I don't know if that was Alicia Taylor, but I'll tell you who it is. Stealing Rollins steals another one. You know what? I got a question, Seth, and your bosses, Paul and TKO, may not like this, but how many gimmicks, Seth? How many gimmicks does it take? Kingslayer, you beat Triple H. Beast Slayer, you beat Brock Lesnar. The Architect, yeah, we'll give you credit for Roman Reigns' 5-year championship reign. History belongs to you, Mr. Architect. Beast Slayer, Kingslayer, Architect, Visionary, Messiah. You're so good you think you're God. And now Paul Heyman, ECW's favorite con man, has made you Mr. Money in the Bank. How many gimmicks? 10 years of gimmicks. 10 years of Seth Rollins trying to get over. I don't have to ruin professional wrestling. Because Seth Rollins, you said you wanted the truth, didn't you, people? We want the truth. You wanted the truth. I'm going to give you the truth. 10 years of a guy stealing gimmicks. I don't blame TKO.
You know, there's a lot of truth in what he's saying here about Seth Rollins. That was Velveteen Dream, who's being salty. But there's a lot of truth in it. And if you look at it, a few of Seth's outfits that he comes out with that are flamboyant, and he wears the glasses. It was one instance where he wore the glasses like Velveteen with the third eye, things like that. But that's neither here nor there. I just thought that was a really funny, little interesting tidbit to go into what I'm going to go into right here. There was no reason for Seth Rollins to win Money in the Bank. There was none. A lot of people was looking for CM Punk to come in to distract him, to cause a distraction. A lot of people was looking for Roman Reigns to come back to cause a distraction, to make it that he doesn't win the briefcase. When earlier in the week, CM Punk got robbed of his opportunity to be in Money in the Bank by Seth Rollins, so why didn't he come out there to stop him from getting the briefcase? Could it be favoritism? Could it be that Triple H is looking out for his boy? Triple H has a soft spot for Seth Rollins. That's why Jey Uso did not beat him. That's why Seth Rollins is being protected like he is. That's why his little group that he has is reminiscent of a bloodline. They're trying to get Seth Rollins. This is going to be the umpteenth time that they try to get Seth Rollins over. And it may work due to Roman. Because if I'm looking at this how I'm looking at it, it's looking like it's going to be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania in Vegas next year. That's what it's looking that's where it's looking like it's going. Because Seth is going to cash in on Jey. Jay's Roman's cousin. You have a story right here that is waiting to be told. It's unfortunate that guys like LA Knight, whom I thought who was going to win, but he didn't win. So what are you going to do with him? You can't keep derailing people's ascension just to fulfill someone's desire to be the guy. I've always said that Seth Rollins to me is not a main eventer. He's just an upper mid-card talent. There's nothing wrong with that. Some upper mid-card talents be the world champion, but they turn out to be transitional champions. Now, Seth Rollins, to me, he doesn't feel like a transitional champion. He's just an upper mid-card guy. He's just someone that you can put in that main event spot to get heat for another star whom you are looking at to be the future and to be the person to hold the title, like a Cody Rhodes, like a Roman Reigns, like a Braun Breaker, if they ever decide to get him away from this group. Because as much as they think that they are helping Braun by being around all these people, it's actually hurting him. One of the things that made Evolution so great as a unit is that each one was individually their own. They weren't like lapdogs with Triple H. Like each one of them had their own thing. Like you could see glimpses of the future in all of them. What I look at with his group that he has now, I just look at these are just like J&J security people that can wrestle, that can really be the bodyguard for him. But Seth Rollins is not that guy. You know, the music is always going to get him over because people want to chant. People want to do this. People want to do that. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have that aura. He doesn't have it. Now look at what's going to happen. Seth Rollins is the Money in the Bank. Jey Uso is going to defend the title against Gunther on Monday. The story here is that Jey is baked up, banged up. He got fucked up in that match. Exactly what Gunther said. So in this instance, when it comes to Monday, the story is going to be that Jay's all banged up, and it's going to be the perfect, ripe opportunity for Seth to come in and take the title from him. But do you take the title off of him? When is Seth Rollins' cash-in going to be? When is it going to be? Is it going to be a Night of Champions in Saudi? Because that's the next thing. It's like at the 20-something or whatever the case may be. This is going to be, I like it, but then I don't like it. I like it because it adds story, and I'm a guy that likes story. No matter how much I look at this and think that this is wrong, from a story-driven standpoint, it adds a lot to this going forward. And maybe it adds dissension going forward because Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed can be like, you wouldn't have had the briefcase if it wasn't for us. Paul Heyman, you know, I think that this is great, but at the same time, it could have meant more if someone would have caused the distraction and not had Seth Rollins win that briefcase. Then in the middle of the match, you had Solo and Jacob. They having their own little story in that match, while everybody is just waiting their turn. But Seth Rollins is the guy who has the briefcase. I'm interested to see where they go from here. That's the only thing that I like going forward is the unpredictability of what's going to happen and when Seth Rollins is going to cash in that briefcase, because he may cash it in similar to how he cashed it in the first time at WrestleMania. Who knows? But what is it going to take for them to realize that Seth is not Roman? Seth is not that main event guy. He just don't have that. And that's okay to not have that. He had a great career. Seth Rollins is a main eventer, yes, but he's an upper mid card main eventer because he's the guy that you can put the title on. You know you're gonna get good matches out of him. You know you're gonna get a lot out of him. But that championship is being held by someone who you want to put the title on going forward. With everything that's happening right now, it's going to be a shocker when things escalate with that world title picture, I feel. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see.